Hey everyone, I come on here briefly because I have a discussion I am super excited to share with you guys tonight. Tonight's discussion is the tales of life. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so that we can begin. If you guys have not had an opportunity to review our previous videos, they are currently available on YouTube, on Instagram, on our website at www.ourfaithconnects.com. We've been discussing our free 10-step e-guide currently available on our website. Just by placing your email, you will receive a free copy. I do want to thank everyone who has had an opportunity to review our free 10-step e-guide on how to date effectively. I mean, the feedback, the insight has been very appreciated. I pray and hope that it brings the insight necessary and the understanding of the importance of dating effectively when fulfilling godly purpose and assignment, because the decision of who you decide to marry is one of the biggest decisions and crucial decisions you'll ever have to make. And we want to prevent marrying the wrong person or marrying a counterfeit, someone that God did not send, someone that God did not align to your future, but because of your own self-interest, you decided to move forward without any confirmation from God. This e-guide will help to navigate the dating as well as asking the appropriate questions to really get to know who you are connecting with. Thankful for everyone who has supported thus far, and I'm super excited to see what 2026 will hold for us all. So we do have the 10 steps. Step one, testing their fruit. Step two, getting to know your date. Step three, identifying compatibilities. Step four, knowing the differences. Step five, acknowledging imperfections. Step six, discuss personal backgrounds. Step seven, observe, heal, and unhealed traumas. Step eight, speak future plans. Step nine, make boundaries and expectations known. Step 10, align living structures. We did add a bonus to dating checklist. So as you're getting to know people, you can start checking off the things that you discuss with them, the pros and cons, balancing things out, and see if that person's actually a good fit for you. Tonight, I am very excited to go over this discussion. I was actually talking about it with a friend earlier today regarding the tales of life and just making sure that we're not accepting or believing the lies to be true, so we're not falling into a strong delusion. I think it's important that we talk about this so it brings insight and awareness of people who lie, so we're not absorbed by their lies or believing it to be true and then living a life as if it's true when it's not. So if you have your pen and paper, we are going to go ahead and begin. So we will discuss the intent, purpose, and the expected responses of someone who lies. I find this discussion helpful to know so we do not become absorbed in the lies of others who tell them and the way that it can affect our lives. I think sometimes people don't really realize the true detriments and the effects a lie can have on someone until the damage has already begun. And we have to be aware of those who lie, their motives, the intent of it, and what they're looking to get out of the lie. Anyone who provides false information, falsely accuses, or misrepresents the truth, they are a liar. There's no ifs, buts, they are a liar. The intent of a person who lies is to persuade others to make it to be true, to navigate your life based on the information shared. So someone who is lying, there's an intent and a motive to why they're lying, and their hopes is that they navigate your perspective in the way that you think about things to the information they share. So if someone comes to you and say, "Oh, the sky is purple," they're wanting you to believe the sky is purple, and they want you to live a life as if the sky is purple. A way to mislead or redirect the way someone thinks, acts, and perceives, so the outlook of the person's life changes. The act is harmful as it can escalate to dangerous activities. Again, there are times where people don't really realize how bad a lie can affect somebody's life, even if it's a little fib or something light. It's something that can escalate and worsen, especially people who participate in the lie and then people who believe the lie to be true when it's not. So here are 4 reasons why people lie. Number one, ashamed. If you've made a mistake in your life that you are not proud of, or live a life of error, you fear the consequences of your decisions or exposure of your actions, people will lie to cover up what is true and then to create alibis. So anyone that may be embarrassed of what they've done and their fear of its exposure of what they've done, the fear of the outcome of what they've done and the consequences of what they've done, they will lie. They'll create cover-ups because they're ashamed of the exposure of what they've done. Number two, amusement. Finding amusement in others accepting their lies. Warm invitation to their world of chaos and your involvement in their lies amuse them. There's some people who just find it entertaining. Look at them looking like a fool, acting like a circus. I lied to them and now look at them acting fool, right? There's some people that get amusement in your involvement based on your reaction, your response, how you handle, how you deal with what was said about you or to you. There are people who find entertainment in the lie that they shared. Number three, advancement. Some see lies as a way to get ahead faster or easier. So they lie to get to the top, lies that are more soothing and satisfying to the ear to hear. So there are people who lie to others to get ahead, and it's more soothing, it's more satisfying to hear. So they continue to feed others what they want to hear opposed to the truth. Number four, assassination of character. They're looking to ruin reputations and credibility. So whenever that person speaks, no one believes them. They disrupt the view of oneself and others, specifically attempting to affect the way others are perceived. So it is a deceptive practice. If anyone has not had an opportunity to get my book, The Doors of Deception, I highly recommend getting it. It's currently available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and our website as well. I mean, we really go into the different doors of deception, whether it be just deception, self-deception, and mass deception when it hits the masses. It is very insightful and it'll bring the wisdom needed and encouragement to know how to defeat the acts. So here are the four ways: ashamed, amusement, advancement, and assassin. So when you're noticing patterns of someone switching up stories or trying to redirect conversations or trying to persuade or affect your outlook on life, you got to ask yourself, what is their reason? What would be the intent of them lying? Are they ashamed of what they've done, so they're trying to cover it up? Do they find entertainment and amusement of people believing their falsehoods? Do they get advancement of it? Are they trying to get ahead? They're trying to get instant gratification, so they trying to move the fast way? Or is it assassination of character? Are they trying to ruin reputations or the credibility of other people so that people will view someone in a way in which they view them based on the lies that they tell? So what would be the reason? Of course, there's many more reasons than the four that we listed tonight, but these are four main reasons why people lie. Accepting the lies of others weakens the perspective and shifts you to falsehoods and away from reality, but to the false perception created. So what happens is when you start to accept the lies that people share, you are now changing your outlook on life based on their view, based on their falsehoods, based on what they say. So your behaviors are based on a lie, your connections are based on a lie, your actions reveal deep-rooted deception. So now everything you do is based on something that was not true. You accept the dysfunction of what is not true and welcome in delusion and a great deception. So delusion is when you actually live in a lie. So everything that you do is a lie. So no matter what you do, because it's been so rooted in a lie, all of your responses and actions are based on something that wasn't true from the beginning. And then you can fall into a great deception where now you're easily deceived and now the way that you think is corrupted. If you respond from a place of false information, you are an open target to people's evil and corrupted intentions, and the truth starts to hurt so much you defend the lies. Where now, whatever their motive and intent was to corrupt the way that you think, the way that you view or your perspective, now when someone is actually telling you the truth, it hurts more. So what happens? You start to defend the lie because the lie becomes more satisfying to live through. Yet it's more damaging the more it continues. So you may not really see the disruption of a lie until the damage has already started. There are two scriptures I do want to read tonight. So I want that to resonate with you to make sure that you're not falling for people's lies, people's deception, and you're not falling victim to their corrupted intentions. So if we go to 2 Thessalonians 2, chapter 10 through 11, And I'm reading from the NKJV version. So we'll read 2 Thessalonians 2:10-11. And it reads, and with all unrighteousness, deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them strong delusion that they should believe the lie. So, because people did not have a love for the truth, God sent them a strong delusion so they actually believe the lie. And what happens when you believe a lie? You live in the lie. And so now your perspective is corrupted. Proverbs 19:9. It reads, a false witness will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies shall perish. So God already says here, you lie, you perish in the story. And we don't want to entertain other people's lies because we're just as guilty as them in our own ignorance. So that's why we have to use wisdom when we're accepting what people say or when we are allowing what they say into the way that we think or how we handle or move in life. Lies that told about you need your participation for them to stick and work. So anything that's said about you, it needs your participation for it to stick. If you're not participating, it won't stick. Lies told to you need your participation for them to mislead. In order for you to be misled is if you participate and accepted the lie. Lies shared with others needs your participation for them to spread. So if there's someone that's gossiping and talking bad about someone else, you don't know it to be true. It needs your participation in order for it to spread. You gave it your participation by saying it to someone else as if it was true when it wasn't. You gave your participation when there was lies told to you to allow for you to be misled. You gave your participation when lies were told about you because you actually participated in what they said and you accepted it. And so now those words and what they said stuck to you. Lies need your participation. So if you're not participating in a lie, they won't stick and they won't affect you. You won't welcome them into your world. That's what, when people lie, they want your participation. The biggest feed for a liar is your participation in the lie. You want to make sure that you're not giving them what they thrive or what they hunger for. You let them starve. They desire for your participation. They desire for your attention. You starve the lie by not participating in it. You don't allow it to spread through you. You don't allow yourself to be misled and you don't allow it to stick. You become repellent instead of a sponge, just absorbing everything that someone says. You let it roll. You don't accept it. It's not true. It's a lie. And I'm not going to be fighting my whole life to make you know it's a lie. You will just deal and see the consequences of that and what you believed. The defense to lies is truth, which weakens the source of a lie. So the way that you're able to defend and defeat a lie is with the truth. A lie stands, but only for so long until truth dismantles it. What allows a lie to stand is those who participated in its upkeep. There's some people that keep up with the lie. They know it's a lie, but they continue the upkeep of it and hope that it stays up longer. The longer it's held up, the heavier and deeper the lies get and the more damage it causes on the participants. So anyone who participated in the lie, they're damaged more than those who didn't. Why? Because they took so much time and energy to upkeep a lie when it was a lie, and now it became heavier and it became deeper. So it caused damage on those who participated in the lie and those who accepted the lie when it wasn't true. There's some people like, I already knew. They couldn't fool me. I wouldn't believe anything that came out of their mouth. And there's some people that just absorb everything. So we're going to talk about 4 ways to protect ourselves from lies, to prevent them from ruling in our life. They don't have to rule. You don't have to accept it as true. And at the end of this, I'll give you guys a reason why I decided to talk about this tonight. But let's talk about the 4 ways to protect ourselves from lies, to prevent their rule. Because the truth is, the unfortunate truth is, if you absorb it, if you allow it, if you accept what's said, it can rule in your life, that lie. And what happens? You are now in a delusion. You're delusional. And we want to make sure that we do not become delusional. Number 1, don't be a sponge. Do not absorb everything anyone says without testing the fruit. We did talk about testing the fruit in step one. If you guys have not had an opportunity to listen to that video, I highly, highly recommend going to listen to that. Don't absorb everything that someone says and deem it as true. What about them would allow you to believe everything they have to say? What rapport has been created to take their word as bond? Have they proven themselves to be truthful, honest, and just? Or did you just absorb it and accept it to be true? What qualities or what did they show you to believe everything that they have to say? If they haven't shown you anything, then you are already in error because we're needing to test the spirit of people. We're needing to test their fruit. If you haven't built a rapport with someone or they've proven that what they say is their bond and is true, then we shouldn't be accepting it. We should be processing everything that's said. We shouldn't be accepting everything is true. That's the first error. Sometimes we just absorb and accept it. What about them makes you believe what they have to say? Number two, process what is said. What will be their reason for them sharing the information with you? You have someone telling you information, trying to figure out why you're telling me. What do you expect me to do about it? Now let's think about the reasons why people lie. Is it amusement? Or are they trying to get an amusement out of my reaction, out of my response, or how I handle it? Are they trying to use me as a shield? Some people want to be hidden behind you. They want to hide behind you because they know what they've done. So now they want to tell you and hope that you will defend their lies to get them out of what they cost. So are you a shield for their lies? Reaction and then delusion. What would be the reason? Are they living in delusion? So down there just passing along their delusion? We need to know what would be their reason for them sharing information with us. What are they looking to get out of what's being said? Is there a motive behind what's being said? Number three, use your moral compass. Is it right or wrong? Some people know when information is a lie because they also live in lies as well. They don't mind trying to cover up or spend their life trying to make a lie seem to be believable. There's some people that connect with other delusional people because it's easier to spread lies through them. They both are delusional. What better way to spread information but to two delusional people? So is it right? Is it wrong? Knowing that there are some people who are malicious and they're wicked and they're evil and they will maliciously try to destroy life by creating lies, creating false allegations, and trying to assassinate the character and reputation of someone. Everyone in this world is not good people. And when you're able to see that and see it for what it is, you're not easily fooled by the way people show up and masquerade to be something that they're not. And number four, most importantly, we want to take it to God in prayer. The Bible says the Holy Spirit will guide us into all truth. So we want to make sure that God is leading us and He's directing us in truth. We're going to pray about it. God, what is it that I need to know? Is there anything in what's being said? Is it to be true? You are the revealer of truth, and you won't allow for me to remain living in a lie. So, God, is there anything in which that person is saying I need to take to be true? That is the most important step. There's certain things that can easily trigger someone at the thought of what's being said or even hearing it the first time. Someone can easily be triggered, but before you even respond, take it to God. What is true and what is not, Lord? I need you to reveal to me what I need to accept and what I need to cast down as a lie. And the reason why I did want to talk about this, the tales of life, because there's been so many stories of people unaliving themselves because of lies, misrepresentation of the truth, and false accusations. Do not allow your life to be ruined or affected by those who spread lies, but rather fight them with truth. Don't allow people to try to control how your life turns out based on their deceptive practices and their lies. You have control and full authority because God has given it to us and He leads us to all truth. So we don't allow the lies and the misrepresentation of the truth to affect how we live our lives. Do not allow the crookedness of others to affect your world and don't allow it in. I was honestly just having that conversation with a friend earlier today. We don't have to allow the lies into our world. The problem is when we accept them. It's not true. We're not accepting it. It's not true. And once you're able to stand on that, you then are able to see things for what they are. You realize that there's way more delusional people in the world than you even can count. Don't accept or ponder what you know not to be true, but rather expose the intentions behind it and defeat it with truth. So when you start asking questions that what would be their reason for lying on me? What would it be their reason to try to ruin my credibility? What would be the reason for them to try to destroy me? What would be their reason to try to disrupt what God is doing through me? What would be their reasons to try to redirect, mislead people into a falsehood? What would be their gain behind it? Right? So when you start seeing things like that, it's easier for you to ignore and defeat it with the truth. Because we know, as we said earlier, is that a lie can only stand but for so long because it gets heavier and it gets deeper. And then when it does finally fall, all of the participants are affected because you fed into it. Lies need your participation. There are certain lies that can really stain a person's identity if they are accepted, like you are ugly, no one will want you, you'll never be anything. Especially in today's time when everyone's on social media, we want to make sure that we're not allowing people to cyberbully us or to make us feel less than or to try to speak negatively about us. That's not true. You don't have to accept it. You can block them, you can ignore them. Don't accept it to be true. They don't know you. They don't know you. It's always sad to hear about stories where people unalive themselves because they've been cyberbullied or they've been bullied by people with ill motives and intent. You got to remember that there are some people that get an amusement. It's entertaining for them to see you down or to see that the words in which they say about you stick. Don't give that to them. Those lies might stick to someone, but just not you. So I pray that this video has been encouraging to you as it been encouraging to me. Now that we are aware of how people lie and their different motives of why they would lie, we're not falling into the trap. We're not feeding into it. We're going to allow it to starve. We're not going to participate in it. We're not going to allow it to destroy or disrupt what God is doing through us. We're going to continue to move forward towards the promises of the Lord. We're going to continue to move forward to everything that God has called for us because his plans is to prosper us for a hope in the future that is to an expected end. And we are not absolutely not going to lie the lies and misrepresentation of what others' perspective or outlook or deceptions to affect what God is doing through us. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So be encouraged, everyone. And I thank you guys all so much for listening to this video. And until next time, thanks, everyone.